Bigfoot stomping in the dark, dark night. Aliens dancing in the pale moonlight. Cryptid chatter blowing up the airwaves. Dr. Hogwash gonna make your day. Dr. Hogwash, yeah, he's the boss. Taking all the secrets and scrubbing off the gloss. Dr. Hogwash, awesome. Turn it up loud. The truth is stranger and it's drawing a crowd. Oh, Sasquatch tracks, Roswell facts, tinfoil hats. Dr. Hogwash got your back. Dr. Hogwash, oh yeah, don't stop. Turn it up, it's a truth drop. Dr. Hogwash, oh yeah, don't stop. You ready now? Let's go pop, pop, pop.
Greetings, my truth-seeking tadpoles and philosophically inclined mammals. You've stumbled once again into the sonic sanctuary of Dr. Hogwash, where we question reality, poke it with a stick, and sometimes ask it to cough. Today's episode is titled, Who is Shaking the Jar? Now, if that title gives you an unsettling feeling that you're about to be compared to a small, crunchy insect, don't worry. You absolutely are. Segment 1. The Experiment. Let's begin with a little science. My favorite kind of science. The kind that makes everyone uncomfortable while simultaneously making too much sense. There's an experiment. Simple, almost childlike. You take black ants and red ants, drop them into the same jar. At first, harmony. Ant utopia. They stroll around minding their own buggy business. No turf wars, no tiny ant politicians screaming at each other on ant television. But then, someone shakes the jar. Suddenly, the black ants think the red ants started it. The red ants think the black ants started it. Chaos, ant carnage, six-legged mayhem. And the real question, the one the ants never stop to ask, is, hey, who shook the jar? Spoiler alert, it wasn't the ants. Segment 2. We are the ants. Now, humanity, big, proud, opposable-thumbed humanity, likes to believe we are above such simple manipulation. But millions across the world are starting to realize we're the ants. We get along just fine most of the time. Sure, we disagree on pineapple on pizza, and yes, some of you still believe the earth is shaped like a soft-boiled egg. But by and large, people don't wake up in the morning eager to hate each other. And yet, somehow, everything feels like it's on fire. Groups fighting other groups. Neighbors glare at neighbors. Everyone thinks someone else is the problem. And in that confusion, you can almost hear it. Shh. The faint rattle of the jar. Segment 3. Who's doing the shaking? Now, I'm not here to point fingers at any particular shadowy figure stroking a cat in a mountaintop lair. Though if you are such a figure and listening, please stop petting the cat so aggressively. But throughout history, there's been a pattern. Powerful groups, call them elites, empires, aristocracies, the people who think regular folks can't read, have often benefited when the masses are too busy bickering to notice who's steering the ship. When people are divided, they're easier to control. When they're scared, they're easier to manipulate. When they're exhausted, they're easier to distract with shiny objects, like celebrity drama and suspiciously loud snack food commercials. But something is shifting. A global awakening is happening. Not some magical awakening where everyone suddenly becomes enlightened and starts drinking herbal tea while floating 3 inches above the ground. No. A practical awakening. A visible awakening. People are starting to step back, squint at the chaos, and ask, is this really my fight? Or did someone shake my jar? Segment 4. The Awakening. Across continents, cultures, and time zones, folks are realizing that division is not an accident. The conflicts, the tribalism, the relentless distraction, these things didn't spontaneously sprout from the soil like philosophical mushrooms. More people than ever are connecting the dots. They're questioning media narratives. They're refusing to demonize strangers they've never met. They're recognizing that fear is a profitable business, and someone, somewhere, is cashing in. And here's the beautiful part. Once you see the jar, You can't unsee it. It's like spotting the zipper on the back of the mascot costume, or realizing the magician's rabbit is absolutely overworked. Once awareness arrives, it spreads, quietly, steadily, like a polite but determined houseguest who refuses to leave. Segment 5. Humor in the madness. Now, I know this is heavy stuff, so let's sprinkle a little comedic paprika on it. Imagine a group of humans in their metaphorical jar. They're yelling, shoving, accusing each other of ruining everything. And above the jar, there's the unseen shaker, looking down, saying, "Look at them, still blaming each other. Classic ants." And one of the other jar shakers responds, "Well, of course they blame each other, Gerald. We glued their attention spans to outrage for the last 70 years. Meanwhile, inside the jar, a few humans look up and shout, "Hey, stop shaking us!" But of course, jar shakers are notoriously bad listeners. The comedic tragedy here is that humans, unlike ants, can look up. We can question. We can refuse to play along. Ants don't have that luxury. They're stuck with instinct and exoskeletons. But we can compare notes, communicate, and even stage a peaceful intervention. Segment 6. What happens when the ants wake up? Here's the part I'm most excited about. When enough people recognize the pattern, when enough ants look at each other and say, "Hey, you're not the enemy," the whole system starts to break down. The shaking becomes less effective. The divisions stop working. The jar shaker's job performance review becomes very awkward. Imagine a world where people stop falling for the bait, where conversations replace shouting, where curiosity replaces hostility, where we finally agree that pineapple on pizza is neither moral victory nor societal collapse. It's just fruit on bread, folks. A global awakening doesn't require everyone to be perfect. It just requires enough people to notice the hands on the jar. Segment 7. Closing message. So what do we do with all this? First, we pay attention, not to the noise, but to the patterns. Second, we hold on to our humanity, our humor, our compassion, our ability to recognize nonsense when it tap dances into the room wearing a sparkly hat. And third, we choose unity where someone else wants division. Because once the ants stop fighting each other, they become a very different kind of force. A force that can climb out of any jar. A force that can look the shaker dead in the metaphorical eye and say, "Enough." Thank you for spending your precious auditory minutes with me today. Remember, stay curious, stay aware, and if life starts to feel chaotic, check whether someone's shaking your jar. This is Dr. Hogwash, signing off. Until next time, keep your antenna up and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.